I really wish that I would share videos or make videos when I have things coming fresh in my mind, and not necessarily things for a video, but it's just things that would help people to understand how to connect spiritually, what they may be going through when it comes to becoming aware of something. And, like when I get home, I always forget all the things that I was experiencing. And I like to share from my experiences, my strength that I gain from that, and my hope that I have because of the experiences that I've had. And so, something about the end of the year, people like to think about how far they've come, and I don't even know that that's really what I've intentionally tried to do, is think about how far I've came. But I know that a lot of awareness has been brought to me through a lot of triggering that's happened lately. I've been so hard on myself for the past year. I've been really hard on myself off and on because I thought that I should be further than what I am now in my journey. And I say this all the time, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey that it takes to get there. But I fail to remember that sometimes, that I need to remember that myself. And so, the last 2 years, maybe the last 3 years for me, has been nothing but triggering over and over and over again. And these triggers have brought on ego deaths, me having to face fears, doubts, insecurities, trauma. I've went through seeing the shadow side, seeing the dark things that were there, still seeing them. One of the things that I've been seeing lately is my mom coming out in me. And what I mean by that is, there's certain characteristics or certain patterns, or whatever the best way of saying it is, that we will pick up sometimes from our parents or people that were around, all the time. And one of the things that my mom did was yell a lot. And that's one of the things that I've really tried to stop. It was something that was brought to my awareness during my last relationship with Nick. And it's being brought to my awareness again. And, the only reason why it's being brought to my awareness is so that I can become aware of it. I can sit with it and understand why it happens, instead of judging myself and beating up on myself like I typically would. And, going down that spiral of depression, or slight depression, because I don't really get depressed anymore. It's more of like I have these moments of sadness or, pouting or what have you. And then it's very quickly overturned by happiness and peace and, getting to the solution of things. But the point of what I'm trying to make is, I've been triggered a lot lately, and one of the things that I've been triggered with is my daughter. Okay, you guys all know I'm a recovering addict. I lost my daughter to an indirect cause of drug use, as well as mental health. The reason why I didn't get her back and she was adopted was because of, if I was to relapse, it would be detrimental to her mental health. But I know it was because of my mental health still not being where it needs to be. So, I struggled with that for a while. One of the things that's been triggering in me is certain things that my daughter will say or do will trigger me to bring up the programming that my mother instilled in me, through me watching her over and over and over again and experiencing it over and over and over again. It became something that I instinctively knew to do. Okay, so I yell. When I don't know what to do, I yell. Okay, sometimes when I do know what to do, I yell. However, awareness has quickly been brought to the situation, 444, as I'm looking at the clock. Look that up on Sacred Scribes, guys. But anyhow, awareness has been brought to it. And, another one of the things is, I've really went back and forth in the past 5 years so many different times with confidence when it comes to healing. Okay. I never intended to be a healer. It was kind of thrown on me. Spirit kind of put me in a situation that made me heal an animal, and it brought on all kinds of excitement and all kinds of levels of healing myself, and went to healing people and went to weird and random gifts opening up and things of that sort, right? So I've always struggled with confidence, okay? And I built my confidence up by healing a lot of things that people said to me that broke me down, so that I didn't have that confidence, or maybe even things that happened in my family life that made me, again, kind of programmed to believe that I would never be anything. And so, once poor, always poor type thing, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But I feel like I'm all over the place. These things have been, really being brought up and triggering me lately. And I've come to what I was trying to tell you in the very beginning of the video is that, I'm really reflecting on how far I've came. I've been faced with all of these triggers, especially with my daughter lately, her coming back into my life. And I feel at times like a failure of a mother. I try my best. I give it my damnedest, and I still feel like sometimes I either have the wrong face or the wrong words that I say, or because I'm one of those people who are very honest and blunt with people, sometimes maybe I don't filter what I'm saying good enough. And, I've just really felt like a really shitty mother lately. And I know I'm not a shitty mother. It's just that, these experiences are helping me to grow. I can't judge the situation like I would in the past and say, oh my gosh, I've got to run from this, because that's what my daughter's doing. She ran, basically, I'm not going to say she actually ran, but she left after we had this little, very slight argument. It's crazy. Anyhow, It triggered something in her, and she responds to things differently than I do. I yell, she runs, meaning she went to somebody else's house. She got picked up and went to somebody else's house. That's her way of healing, and that's fine, but it hurt my feelings. And so, I had to sit in my emotions and let it take me down and through all of the sequence of why I yell, why I overreact sometimes, why I am incapable of, at times, of not coming across as harsh or whatever. And some of the things that I found is I was programmed by the way that I was brought up. So, I'm sorry for the way my nails look, guys. Tie-dye and work make them look horrible right now. Anyhow, I was programmed through the way that I was raised, and certain ways that I was raised, things that I would see over and over and over again, or hear over and over and over again, program me to, I'm losing my train of thought, to, totally having a brain fart right now, guys, to believe that I was never going to be enough. So I'm working through these triggers. I'm trying to gain back my confidence. Spirit taught me through all of these things that, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around. I'm in my emotions right now. Okay. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I've been seeing, like I've been trying to tell you this whole damn time, is that through these triggers and through sitting in the triggers, and even if I react to that trigger afterwards, I sit with what I was triggered by. Meaning, I may have overreacted by yelling, but then I immediately went into my bedroom and I sat and I cried and I prayed and I asked for guidance and I asked why I do that. And I was shown. That I was programmed by what I was seeing and hearing over and over and over again. And so I was also shown how far I've came with that I don't always react like I normally would in the past, and that I have evolved from, constantly yelling to just yelling a little bit, and then I become very aware of it, and then I walk away. And so I'm getting better with it. And maybe the people that are going through it with me don't understand that, but I see it. And, my confidence is still lacking. However, I'm getting there. I'm pushing through a lot of stuff that I don't want to have to push through. And I've grown quite a bit in that sense. But, one of the things that I've realized is that I have grown. If I look back and reflect on my struggles last year financially, and especially around this time last year when Nick and I separated, all of the bills fell on me. I've never had to, but one time, I guess, have the responsibility of all the bills in a household. And so I started manifesting, and I started asking for a certain money amount, and I haven't hit that money amount yet. However, it is slowly but surely, progressively over the past year, from this time last year to this year, gotten way better. So I struggled from December, about November to March last year. And then, I started manifesting in multiple ways, money, and different streams of income have came in. And I don't work over the holidays. It's something I've known for the past 3 years because I've not worked the past 3 years. So I know that I don't work over the holidays. And so I prepared for that as best as I could. But, my business was slow for a while, but I stayed faithful. I stayed in that energy of, I just know that it's going to turn out. I don't know how it's going to, but I know it is. And random amounts of money would come to me through donations, or people would make appointments at random times right at the last minute when I've needed things. But I haven't had to struggle this season at all. Even being off work as much as I've been, I've only worked 1 week out of December. Well, a total of about 9 days in December. And my bills are all paid right now. And so things have been getting better, and the need for constantly reminding yourself not to judge your process, not to judge how far you've come, but instead celebrate no matter how big or how small the accomplishments are, because they mean so much. They matter. Okay, it matters. There is a ripple effect that happens from the healing that you do on yourself, the awareness that you bring to whatever kind of aspect it is that you're bringing awareness to. It starts to heal, and it mends, and it ripple effects through the people all around you, your friends, your family, their friends, their family, and so on and so forth. So, not sure what the whole purpose of this video was. I just felt really called to make it. I hope that when you guys are reflecting on the past year, that you're not beating yourself up, because I really started during my reflections, I'd say the past month, I've really been reflecting, but I was beating myself up, feeling like I should have been somewhere that I'm not right now. And, expectations are an MF, or they can really set us up for failure. So I'm really trying to, and have been for a while, trying not to expect anything. Flow. Go with the flow. Much love.